Most of us are in awe and are curious about people who are in the positive extreme in terms of intelligence and skills, and we often wonder what makes them different from us. For sure, gifted people may be born with an extraordinary gene that enables them to achieve greater things than anybody else. However, there's also one thing that the gifted ones have in common with average people, and that is the adaptability of the human mind and body. Contrary to what most of us believe in, potential is actually not inborn, but rather, we can create and develop our own talent by practicing it for quite some time, until we learn to master doing it. The book Peak by Anders Ericsson leads us to the realization that each one of us has a seed of excellence within us, and properly nurturing that seed will allow us to be better at the things that we truly desire. Specifically, this book introduces us to the concept of deliberate practice as an effective strategy that leads to optimal improvements. Here are the top 7 lessons from the book Peak. Lesson 1. Practice deliberately. Most of us believe that a lot of practice will make us achieve our maximum potential and attain mastery of the craft. However, it's really not how many times we practice that matters. What matters more is the way we practice, which determines the outcome. The book introduces 2 types of practice: mindless and deliberate. Mindless practice is that which consists of repetitive and low-quality movements, while deliberate practice is the type that's more purposeful and mindful, that comes with a well-defined goal. An example of a well-defined practice goal is something like playing a piano piece 3 times in a row at the proper speed without a mistake. Setting this kind of goal involves pushing oneself out of the comfort zone and constantly challenging oneself until the goal is reached. By setting a specific goal, we'll also be able to gauge the success of a practice session. Lesson 2. Be self-conscious of your actions. Getting too caught up with the constant challenge of practicing deliberately and pushing oneself out of our comfort zone can make us lose focus on the correct way of doing the tasks. Full attention is needed during each practice, since even the smallest distraction could make the entire practice unproductive. As such, immediate feedback is necessary because it allows us to become aware of our mistakes and correct it right away. We usually rely on an instructor or a mentor to provide us with feedback, but if there's no one else, we need to be self-conscious of our actions so that inaccurate practice will be corrected immediately, which then helps us to attain mastery. Lesson 3. Develop a mental representation of what you are practicing. In a game of chess, studies show that the amount of time spent analyzing positions is the most significant predictor of the chess player's ability. This means that playing chess for a long time does not necessarily mean that we are experts of the game. The real experts are those who had achieved the ability to produce highly specialized mental representations of their moves, which can be attributed to their incredible memory, pattern recognition, problem-solving skills, and other advanced abilities. Creating mental representations allows us to think faster, process large amounts of information quickly, and make more accurate decisions. Lesson 4. Harness the adaptability of the brain and body. The human brain and body are adaptable. Studies show that the brain undergoes changes as a response to different kinds of mental training. Just like our muscles, which grow and develop as a result of physical training and exercise, the connections in our brain also become more complex the more that we use it. Practicing a skill or a hobby for a long time will make our brain adapt to the challenges by rewiring itself so that it can increase its ability to perform the functions required by the task at hand. So we always need to keep our brain and bodies working. Lesson 5. Challenge the status quo. Our body is wired to strive to maintain balance in all areas. However, if we just settle on the status quo, we won't be able to further improve ourselves. Thus, we're challenged to always set a new baseline and break free from the comforts of the status quo. Learning a new skill, for example, is necessary because the brain responds effectively to new skills, rather than continuing to practice something that it already knows well. Lesson 6. Create a practice-driven mindset. Deliberate practice means being intentional and mindful of harnessing our skills. Adopting this strategy then means that we need to look for opportunities throughout the day where we could hone our skills, even through our normal day-to-day activities. We're lucky when we're in a field where deliberate practice can be done, but if not, then we should diligently look for these opportunities whenever we can. Lesson 7. Make improvements with the right approach. Improving in a certain skill comes with the right approach. If we notice that we're not improving, this does not mean that we lack the talent, but rather, this may imply that we're simply not practicing in the right manner. The right manner means that we're following the concepts of deliberate practice, getting immediate feedback, and involves going outside our comfort zone and trying to do things differently in ways that are not easy, but rather are challenging. As such, making improvements is a matter of determining what the right approach is. In conclusion, this book is for those who are on the verge of giving up because of no significant improvement, even after countless hours of practicing a skill. Sometimes we feel that we've reached the limits of what we can do because we no longer see ourselves improving. Instead of accepting it, we could start identifying areas where we could improve on and start living and purposefully and mindfully so that we will become a more efficient and effective person. Thank you for listening. If you like the book summary and you want to see more in this category, please like and subscribe so I can create more. You can also get a free copy of the entire audiobook by clicking the link in the description. Until next time.